Hey everyone, Phobos here, coming at another build demonstration, and this time it's for the Pact Berserker with Comb's Heart and Pledge of Hands. Now this is just going to be a quick little run through a map, and I'm going to show you kind of what the build does, talk about it for a little bit, and then I'll go into more detail later on in the video. If you don't want to stay for that, you shouldn't really have to, because you'll probably get a good impression on what the build does just running through the map. So this is the map right here, Shape Shore. This is on standard because the character actually ripped through Detonate Dead Totem. So the first time I ripped through DD Totem, so I guess I'm in good company, but you know, pretty frustrating because I spent a decent amount of currency. And yeah, not even like a week into the league. But let's go in here. Let's make sure we have our increased area effect in. We didn't, okay. So first thing you're gonna notice is that, well, I guess we have a flame golem out. That's the optimal golem is lightning golem, but flame golem is also fine. I'm just using flame golem right now because casting faster is something I just really don't need to do at the moment because I already have faster casting and spell echo in, and the damage is barely enough to sustain. I'll get into that later, but you'll notice that I'm casting on Pax Assassin's Mark. Right now I'm doing it a little too often, but the idea on that is just to keep charges up. You can do like every third, every fourth pack or something like that. Yeah, just to keep your charges up and to keep Arcane Surge up. I have it set up so that Arcane Surge is basically like when you cast Curse, it always is going to go off. Like the mana cost is like synced up, you know what I mean? Obviously you can do a lot of different things. Like you can run Assassin's Mark on Blasphemy or something, but then you lose a bit of defense from matter. So I'll talk about that in like the long form video I do, like the pros and cons of different setups. You can also turn on Frenzy like I just did here, and you can see you can get Frenzy charges that way, so you don't have to use the Frenzy Curse. And I think I'm actually going to swap to Conk Effect just so you can see the damage on the boss. Keep in mind this is a 5 link and it's only level 86, so we don't have all of our stuff yet. Yeah, so make sure to refresh that. You want to drop a Wither Totem and curse the boss, and then get on top of him and just basically spam. And he goes down pretty fast considering it's like 2-player boss scaling and shit. And put back in increased area of effect. Yeah, the other thing is no movement skill right now, and the reason for that is because you can use Leap Slam with staffs obviously, but Pledge of Hands unfortunately has a low base attack speed. So right now I'm just using Quicksilver with movement on it. Works pretty well. I still clear decently fast, get pretty good XP per hour. Obviously, like the fastest version of this build would be the shield charge version. This version does an insane amount of damage though once it gets capped out. And you'll probably notice that the Flask setup looks a bit weird, because you're thinking, okay, like crit Flask makes sense if he's crit, movement Flask, health Flask, but why does he have? I guess that's pretty much the map. So why does he have this Azirius Promise Flask? And the reason why I have that is because it's kind of like a remnant from when the build wouldn't leech enough single target, because as you can see, Azirius Promise gives you 2% of chaos damage leeches life during Flask effect. Now this is very helpful when you're first starting the build, because what's going to happen is your damage that you're doing to yourself is going to outpace your leech, because even when you have Vol Pact and you're doing a fair amount of damage, you're doing 6% of your health per cast, and you're casting like 6 to 7 times a second with this setup. See, I have faster casting in this with Spell Echo, level 30 Spell Echo, so it's quite a substantial amount of cast speed. You can do things like add added chaos in here instead of like the faster casting in order to reduce that damage you're doing to yourself, so you can play around with it a bit. But what I just did is I threw a Promise on, and the only time you really need to use that is for boss kills, because you'll find that if you're like in the 70s or something, you have all your damage nodes, it's mostly like before you get your crit, you're going to run into the boss and just start spamming, and your health is going to kind of keep plummeting, and that can be a bit sketch. So if you throw a Promise on there, it pretty much nullifies that. The Wither Totem also does a great job of making you do insane amounts of damage, so you don't have that problem as much, but it takes time to stack up. And on the lower level bosses, you can kill them just really fast by just standing on them and spamming. So the promise works really well. Now I should probably replace this at this point with something like a granite. Obviously I'm not really going to play this character anymore, at least for now. But yeah, that would be the ideal thing to put in here, probably like a granite, just some type of defensive flask. Something like that. So yeah, and you can see the 5 link here is increased area effect that you swap in with Conk, Control Destruction, Dark Pact, Faster Casting, and Void Manip. Now the 6th link, you can do like added Chaos, but this is going to be crit strikes, or would be for the 6th link, because it is a crit based build. You can see the tree right here. And unfortunately we don't have Uber Lab because the character, I got my last trial, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up, and I decided to do a couple maps, which is ill-advised, I guess, because I ran into a DD totem, and I died before I could ascend. But obviously you want to take Cloaked in Savagery, because it's ridiculous. And yeah, pretty much if you're going to be leveling this, obviously Pain Reaver first, then you come to Aspect of Carnage. Before you have Aspect of Carnage, you're definitely going to run into that problem of killing yourself on single target, so you definitely want to have a promise. You can level with it just fine, especially if you're kind of twinked, but you just have to be careful on the single target fights that you don't just spam, and you have to be kind of using your health flask. The good thing is that you're going to have a lot of health, so because you're just going to be, even if you don't have the combs and stuff, the build just gets a lot of health. It's like 200 something % health from the tree. So, and this is going to be the way we're going to finish out like the 80s, I believe, and then you can do a couple different things with the points. Once you get into the 90s, you can pick up another power charge. You can get more jewels. I was probably going to go the additional jewel route because they're just so good. You can also get this stuff over here for more chaos res and chaos damage. So that's pretty much the tree. I'll put the POB in the description. And I'll make another video where I talk about different things you can do with the build, specifically Astro Medicine, strength stacking, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the build, and see you next time.